What's crackling, everybody? Welcome back once again to the definitive cereal tier list. Where each episode, we take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host, Tucker. In this episode, we're doing Smorz. This is the third of the Smorz flavored cereals we've done, the other two being the Honey Maid S'mores, which was an E, and Multi-Meal S'mores, which was a D. Both of those S'mores, apostrophe E, this one, no apostrophe, and a Z instead of an E. S'mores. So, that's fun and different. Also, it says it's back on there, which is correct for my own personal memory, because I remember having this when I was a small child. So, we'll see if this taste brings back any memories. I more just remember it existing than what it really tasted like. So, we'll see how that goes. But, just initially looking at it, they've replaced the issue piece that I had with both the other s'more cereals. When they had a marshmallow piece, a chocolate puff, and then a thin, like, cinnamon toast crunch type, not quite the same type piece there to represent the graham cracker. And that one always just melted away and just kind of ruined a lot of the texture for the whole bowl. So this, they've combined the chocolate piece and the graham cracker piece into one. So hopefully that works out better. But let's just open it up, see what it's like. Okay. Getting a good mixture of that graham cracker and chocolate scent, so that's good. Nailing that. Just looking at the piece, it looks like it would feel like a peanut butter piece, which I've mentioned a few times. They always have a distinct feel to them. Okay, it's not quite the same. It just looks similar. And just visually, going by the bowl, looks like we got a good ratio of marshmallows in here, so I appreciate that. Feels very solidified when I shake that box. But yeah, we got these nice big squares instead of puffs and thin little wash away pieces. All right. Don't want to get too many marshmallows, just to be safe. Interesting. Okay. Initially, tasted way more the graham cracker than the chocolate. And the chocolate taste seems kind of weird, if that is what I was tasting at the end there. Kind of an odd balance. Not really reminding me of a s'more, at least from that bite. So, I guess that's too bad. But, I don't think there's a but. That's it. Okay, I just tried a couple of the marshmallows by themselves, and I think that is part of what I was tasting at the end. Well, these don't quite taste like your average sort of cereal marshmallow. And texture-wise, they're... The word I want to say is goopier, but that doesn't really make any sense. Because they're sort of crunchy on the outside, which is like kind of normal, but it feels more hard on outside, soft on inside than some of the other marshmallow bits do. This is kind of a weird texture difference and taste difference for the marshmallow piece. So maybe that's what's kind of throwing me off a little. All right, now we have a chocolatey looking milk, but there's some sort of graham cracker dust floating around in there. So let's see how the milk is combining these flavors compared to the piece. Oh yeah, that's actually much more of the chocolate flavor in there. Kind of like that a bit more, the focus on chocolate with sort of the addition of graham cracker. Yeah, it seems like inverse to the piece, which is weird that I wasn't picking that up at all when I was eating it. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's kind of just a good taste. I don't know what I was gonna say there. It's just pretty solid. Like that's a bit more like how I would picture a s'more as a cereal. So props for the milk on this one. I don't think I'm begging for s'more of this, but I won't be disappointed to have more s'mores. So looking at how this compares to the other two s'more cereals, I think this is definitely better as a cereal than the E-ranked Honey Made S'mores was, because I think switching the graham cracker piece to be combined with the chocolate piece works great for the texture of it, because even near the end there, like when I was drinking the milk, there were still a couple pieces that had some crunch. Some of them had sogified, but it wasn't too bad, and again, still getting a bit of crunch there. So definitely much better than the graham cracker piece there, which I guess is pretty much the same graham cracker piece that was in the multi-meal one, but I just had, I think, more of an issue with the Honey Made S'mores one. But either way, switching that, great choice. However, taste-wise, I might like the multi-meal one a bit more, just because there was more distinct chocolate flavor in there with the graham cracker. I think that's the one sort of weakness this has compared to those, where sometimes it feels like I'm mostly just getting graham cracker marshmallow, and like the idea of chocolate is almost present, and I'd rather have all three together to, get the s'mores effect, but this doesn't quite do that most of the time. Like, I think near the end, once the milk sort of absorbed a lot of the chocolate flavor, and especially when you're having the milk on its own, you notice that chocolate a bit more, but I think it would have been nice to have that sort of be present the whole time. So what I'm going to do is give s'mores a D. Same rank as the multi-meal s'mores, and I think, like I said, it's a bit better texture-wise, maybe not quite as good taste-wise, but I think it's a D and not an E like the Honey Made S'mores was. Which again, it was pointed out, that's from the same company, so there's a chance those are actually more similar than I realized. So it's kind of weird to put this one almost in between those two, but that's just kind of how it worked out, where they're all sort of getting close to the s'mores idea, but they're not quite nailing it. And again, I think this one, texture-wise, comes the closest to nailing it. Just doesn't quite nail it taste-wise, which is a bit of a letdown. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and in the comments below, post your general thoughts. Let me know if you've tried s'mores either now or back in the day and what you think about it. If you've tried both and have a more clear image of how each one tasted and you have like a comparison to share, feel free to do that as well. This did not bring back any deep memories from me, so I'm not really sure if this does taste exactly the same as it did back then, so I'll count on someone to let me know. If you disagree with me and you think that I should have kept the graham cracker and the chocolate piece separate, you can let me know about that too. I'd like to hear an argument for why you would want that sort of flimsy graham cracker piece in there versus this combination. So if that's you, feel free to share. But until next time, stay delicious.